What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 8. We're nearly at episode number 10 here, and welcome to another Madden 21 Connected Franchise Player Lock Series. As it is week number 7, we're nearly at the halfway point of the season, as the New York Jets will be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, the one-loss Philadelphia Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles, as I said after the last episode, is coming in to this game off a bye. Before their last game, they got throttled by the New York Giants, the Giants that we just beat. And in that Giants performance, 8 catches for 127 yards for the second-year wide receiver, Matthew Foster. Now here's the weather here today, 59 degrees here this afternoon, 13 to 15 mile-per-hour winds, and as it stands right now, the Jets will be heading right into the teeth of those winds here this afternoon. And by the way, yes, the wind has a good chance of picking up as this game moves along. And the Jets will start their first drive at the 23-yard line. And we're going to see wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. You know, maybe even 31. You know, but the last shot I checked is going to be 30 mile per hour winds. And Owen Phillips, ever since week number 2, 8 touchdown passes, not a single interception. Hopefully he can continue that same trend. And I believe that is Deontay Burnett, who was the one that made the catch. No, actually, excuse me, that's Jeff Smith. Congratulations to Owen Phillips. That is 10,000 yards passing in his career he just achieved. Second down and 3 from the 30-yard line, and Ben Colvin runs the wrong way for some reason, and that is going to be a tackle by John Abraham. Third down and 5 from the 28-yard line. And Owens is just going to check it down over the middle of the field to Christopher Herndon IV, his tight end. That's going to be enough for a first down, 2 for 2 for Owen Phillips to open up this game. First down 10 from the 34-yard line. It's going to be a handout to Ben Colvin, and this time he runs the right way. Don't know why he ran the wrong way, but on that play he ran the right way. There are the injuries to Tack McKinley, Travarius Ward, and Noah Lockhart. And that is Ronald Jones, who picks up a first down, gain of I believe 14 yards. I was just about to say, as before I talk about that, Ronald Jones does not go anywhere on his first carry. But I was about to say, Noah Lockhart is actually, as you know, that's Brad Younger with the first down reception, as Ronald Jones is going to be a pickup of 6 yards. But what I was actually gonna say is that Noah Lockhart actually broke his ribs last week. As if you guys did not watch last episode, there you go. He broke his ribs last week. He actually won't be back until after the bye week. Our bye week will be in 2 weeks. As Ben Colvin actually ended up gaining about maybe a yard and a half, maybe just a yard, maybe barely getting enough. First down 10 from the 27-yard line. Christopher Herndon IV picks up a gain of about 8.5, 9 yards, 5 for 5 for 50 yards for Owen Phillips. Right now, the Jets are moving the football well down the field, surprisingly. But right now, there's just been mistakes that cost them, and back-to-back false start penalties after being 2nd and 1. I mean, these are the type of mistakes that turn a offense that has a lot of talent into a poor offense. Ronald Jones can't pick up anything. But again, just the blocking has not been great in the running game. And they're going to have to be really good here today if they want to have a chance to run the football. But unfortunately, they'll be playing against guys like Fletcher Cox, as that pass is going to be incomplete. And as I said, it is a windy afternoon here in East Rutherford, New Jersey, as Tyler Taylor nails it from, I believe, 46 yards out. And the score is, well, it was 3-0. Now it's 7-3. And the pass out to the flat to Ronald Jones, only a gain of about maybe a half a yard, to be honest with you. Second down 9 from the 26-yard line. Ronald Jones is going to get the carry and nowhere to go once again. Gain of nothing. And if they can't run the football here today, it's going to be a long day for their quarterback. And Owen Phillips tried to fit it in there. It gets picked off, but it doesn't count because Darius Slay was out of bounds. First down 10, and there goes Denzel Mims. He's been pretty busy this year. And that's going to be enough for a first down. I believe that's a gain of 11 yards on the play. And there goes Justice Jackson with the catch. That's a gain of 6. And at times, this kid has shown potential, but at times, he showed why that he has shown why this guy, why he was a late round draft pick. He has shown why. Only a gain of 1 on that play. 3rd and 2 from the 32-yard line. It's going to be a handoff, and no one picked up the linebackers. It is the second level who was the one who came up to make the play. Now, the Eagles didn't do anything on their next possession, so it's still a 7-3 ball game, and the Jets will open up at the 38-yard line. Again, this running game has been putrid today. Just been a putrid effort running the football. And on first down and 10, it's going to be picked off, and the Eagles have a convoy to the end zone, and it is a pick 6. Touchdown, Philly. That was not a great throw. That was not a great throw. That was not a great throw by any stretch of imagination. First down 10 as Matthew Foster. He throws it over the middle, and that's going to be enough for a first down. All right? Gain of 20 yards. That's actually his first catch of the game, so far the Eagles have done a good job containing him. Sorry, guys, I had to adjust something. Let's get back to the gameplay. As again, nowhere to go. Only a gain of 2 yards. It has been an absolute struggle for this team to run the football. It's been an absolute struggle. What a throw from Owen Phillips. What a dime. Through the zone. Well, not really even through the zones. That's just an absolute perfect throw from the third-year man from Eastern Washington. First down 10 from the 37-yard line. Only a gain of 1. And it seems like to me this game is going to come down to once again, it's going to come down to once again, especially on the offensive side of the ball mainly, as I'm talking about. It's going to come down to Owen Phillips, and I just think, again, they're putting way too much pressure on a guy that's only in his 3rd season. They're putting a lot on his plate. Now, this is a 52-yard field goal. He missed one 2 weeks ago from 59, but this one from 52, he gets all of it. And it's good. And it is a 14-6 game. So there's been some mistakes throughout the course of this game, from the Jets offense. Really, in my opinion, we probably should have a touchdown on the board, but just mistakes have cost us. And that's why we're down. And obviously the pick 6 has hurt. And Owen Phillips, 11 of 15 for 112 yards. Obviously the pick 6, that definitely has hurt this team. Second down 3 receivers to the left. It's going to be a play action. Owen, he was in the shotgun. He's going to fire to Christopher Herndon. That's going to be a catch, a gain of 14. And now out of bounds. Clock is now stopped. They still got the 2-minute warning for a timeout. I formation, Ben Colvin. That might be one of his better carries of the game, and it's sad. He picked up 2 yards. He was at 0 yards before this. That just shows just how bad we've been running, how bad we have been running the football. I believe that is Jeff Smith who made the catch. That's going to be enough for a first down. First down 10. They send pressure, and Matthew Foster finds his way open, makes a catch. And now you got a first down 10 from the 31. No timeouts have been used. Ronald Jones gets a carry. Probably one of his better carries of the game so far. Not his best, but one of the best carries that he's had. Second down 7. Owens in the shotgun. From the 28-yard line. No one's open, but he finds Denzel Mims eventually. And it's going to be enough for a first down. And the first timeout of the game will be used. First down 10, and obviously you really can't run the football here. And there goes Matthew Foster. Can't reel it in. He got smacked. Second down 10 from the 12-yard line. Denzel Mims was out left. Nobody's really open, and it's Christopher Herndon that was the one that made the play. Second timeout's now been used. And now 10 seconds left. You got to throw it here. But you still can run it, and you call a timeout. Third down 2. Owen tries to get it to Justice Jackson, but he drops it. You can't do that as a rookie in a game like this, with an opportunity like this, with such few opportunities that he might end up getting because he is such a late round pick. You can't drop a pass like that. You just can't. And instead of going in possibly tied, it's a 14-9 game. Even though, let's take away the pick six and add on the touchdown, this should easily, without question, be this should be a 13-7 game, but instead it's 14-9, and we're down instead of being up. Washington's doing good in Minnesota right now. Buffalo, Josh Allen, he had a good game, a great game last week. He's having a great game again here today against the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott has struggled mightily ever since week 2. But of course Zeke isn't. As I said, there really isn't ever a series that I think I've ever done on any game where Ezekiel Elliott isn't a Hall of Famer. Third down for both teams have been quite the struggle. Sorry, my series going off right now. Sorry. But you guys see the numbers. Just no running game in sight. None. And I wouldn't even say our defense has done a great job. I mean, for some reason, the Eagles just haven't ran the football a lot today. I just think overall, just not a good game. Not a good game for this football team. This team has got to play better. They have a lot of things they got to clean up, and if they don't, they're gonna fall to 3-4. Let's see what happens in the second half. Welcome everybody to the second half, as it is a 14-9 game, and a game where I think, let's be honest, the Jets should be up right now. The Jets should be up, but mistakes and drop passes have really kind of put them in this hole. And they're going to open up with Owen under center, 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. It's going to be a handoff to Ben Colvin. He's going to try to bounce it out to the left side, and I don't know where this running game has gone ever since week 2. Week 2, maybe the first 2 weeks were an anomaly, and I think the anomaly answer might be probably the correct answer, because this offensive line is a very talented offensive line, but this offensive line has not done anything. But there goes Matthew Foster. That's a gain of 14, 17 of 23 for 191 yards and a pick for Owen Phillips. First down 10 from the 39-yard line. Owens in the shotgun, with Ronald Jones in the backfield with him. And it's going to be a handoff to Ronald Jones. And he is going to get nothing. He's actually going to lose 2 yards on the play. Mr. Abraham was the one that made the play on that one. Second and 12 from the 37-yard line. And there goes Matthew Foster, and Owen Phillips is going to throw for 200 yards now in this game. Sorry. Third down, 3 up. Sorry guys, I'm a bit tired, but we don't get anything on third down. We're gonna have to punt. But the Eagles didn't do anything on their next offensive possession, so it's still a 14-9 game, and the Eagles. I thought that could have easily been a late hit, but the Jets get the ball at the 50, but they're going to actually start this drive at the 45 because of a penalty. You can't commit these penalties, man. You can't commit penalties like this and expect to win. I think on our first offensive drive of the game, we had a really bad penalty, and Denzel Mims was the intended target. Incomplete, excuse me. Second and 15, and Owen Phillips, you had a wide open throw. I understand they sent pressure, but it was blocked up. You got to hit the throw. Third and 15 from the 45, and I just lost 4 yards on the play. Another punt, another 3 and out. This offense has gone nowhere this entire game. But, hey, again, no, the Eagles didn't do anything on their next offensive possession. Christopher Herndon IV has actually had a pretty busy game here this afternoon. And that's going to be a pickup of 9 yards on the play. Second down and 1 for the Jets. And it's going to be a small pickup. 8 carries for 4 yards. But that one's going to give them a first down. Just nowhere to go for this running game. You got to give credit to this Eagles defense. And there goes Christopher Herndon. He's going to shake off a tackle. And he's going to get tackled after a gain of 13. And we just surpassed the Eagles' total yardage. But it's been on the shoulders of number 3, Owen Phillips. Now, first down 10 from the 31-yard line. This should be a first down reception for Denzel Mims. Looked like a gain of about 14 to 15 yards, but it won't count. Holding by Ben Jones, who is filling in for Noah Lockhart, who is out with a rib injury. I believe broken ribs, to be exact. And a handoff to Ronald Jones. And now it's going to be second down and 16 when we head to the fourth quarter. And just throughout the first 3 quarters, nowhere to go for this running game. I said it. That was going to be a huge key in this game. Matthew Foster, gain of 3. You know, third down and 12 from the 41-yard line. Seems like they're going to send pressure. They will send pressure. Owen's going to find Matthew Foster on the outbreaking route. And it's going to be 4th and 1. But that play gives them a chance to go for it. And they will. And 4th down and 1, Denzel Mims, he's going to pick up a first down and more down to the 7. 24-32 for 247 and a pick for Owen Phillips. This one's going to be a handoff to Ronald Jones. Again, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Absolutely, positively, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Just a bad play, but they finally have somewhere to go. They found the end zone. Touchdown. Jets. Guys, let me know if do you want touchdown New York or touchdown Jets. Let me know. But the Jets take the lead in a game that I think many people are kind of looking at this game and saying, do they even deserve to have the lead in this game? You know, because they have played so poorly. But no matter how poorly they've played, they have the lead, which is, I think, surprising to a lot of people. They're going to go for 2. Owens under center, and he's going to be a quick throw to Denzel Mims, and the lead is theirs. Well, not the lead is theirs. They did get the 2-point conversion. They are up by 3. And now I'll say this. This defense for the Jets has been fantastic, and I think also you have to look at the Eagles' offense. A lot of missed opportunities because this Jets offense did nothing in the third quarter. And first down 10, way to navigate the pocket for Owen Phillips as he finds Matthew Foster, who's having a fantastic season. He is playing fantastic football. The person who hasn't really been playing fantastic football of late, will happen to be this guy, Ben Colvin. You know, but he's a rookie, so I understand that. You know, second down and 5 from the 29-yard line. And here comes Ronald Jones. I think easily his best carry of the game. Well, at least one of them. You know, that's going to be enough for a first down. Just nothing has been going for this running game. First down 10, they're going to send some pressure out the slot. And it won't matter. Owen gets the ball out quickly out of his hands. And it's going to be enough for a first down. Well, second down. No, excuse me. No, that's a gain of 5. Excuse me. What am I saying? And second down and 5, and the pressure came in and disrupted that play. Incomplete. Third down and 5 from the 42-yard line. Denzel Mims split out to the left. And it's going to be Denzel Mims who was the one getting the football. And that is going to be a sizable pickup. A big pickup for Denzel Mims. 6 catches for 88 yards. And that is enough for a first down. First down 10 from the 36-yard line. And it's going to be a handoff to Ben Colvin. Again, same story, different verse. Nowhere to go. It's been the same story for this running game for these last couple weeks. And they're going to send a blitz, and it got picked up. And it was incomplete, but there is a flag on the field. It's going to be pass interference on the defense. I was about to say it should not be on the offense because I don't think the offense even made an attempt at the football. Ronald Jones, the most room he's probably seen all day long. You know? And now you get second down and 3. Tie ball game, Owen and empty. And second down and 3, it's going to be Mr. Christopher Herndon the 4th. Touchdown, New York. And that is the 11th touchdown pass of the year for Owen Phillips. And the Jets are still in the lead after the Eagles did nothing with their next opportunity. The game can end on this drive. And the guy that has put this team, put this offense on his shoulders, on his right shoulder, can do it here. And, you know, that's a misfire. You can't miss throws like that. That should be an easy pitch and catch. But it is a very windy day. It is a windy afternoon here in East Weatherford, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, the wind is now up to 15 miles per hour. And And by the way, it's gusting up to 30 miles per hour. 3rd down and 6 from the 30-yard line. And that is going to be a catch by Levi Bates over the middle of the field. And that passing catch puts Owen Phillips over 300 yards passing. 1st down 10, it's going to be a handoff to Ronald Jones. And maybe he's starting to wake up a little bit. He has had a very pedestrian afternoon. And if the Jets are smart, you should let this thing run to the 2-minute warning. If you're smart, this will get ran down to the 2-minute warning. And without question, the most room that this offensive line has given him all day long. It's been a little bit of both. Him not seeing the hole, and the other plays, it's been the offensive line not giving him anywhere to go to run the football. 1st down 10 from the 42-yard line, and it's going to be a handoff to Ronald Jones, and he goes nowhere again. And as I said, nowhere to go. 2nd down 11 here from the 44-yard line, and it's going to be a throw to Matthew Foster. He got it, and that's going to be a 1st down, and I think it's nearly safe to say that is ball game here in East Weatherford, New Jersey. What a catch from Matthew Foster. They didn't put Darius Slay. They didn't put Avonte Maddox. And I think Eagles fans might be questioning a lot of things that went down in this game. A lot of strategy, and a lot of execution. And as I said, even on a windy day, Tyler Taylor had a great day kicking the football. And the Jets get their 3rd straight victory. 27-17. On a windy afternoon here in East Weatherford, New Jersey, the Jets find a way to get it done. And this is going to be the last home game until Week 12 against the Washington football team. They will be playing against them, or the Commanders. They will be playing against them on Monday Night Football, Thanksgiving Monday night. And if you guys are wondering why, ladies and gentlemen, we have a game on the road next week against Baltimore, and then Week 9 is a bye, and then we have 2 road games coming out of the bye, then we have 2 home games. So just to break it down, Week 8 against Baltimore on the road, Week 9 is a bye, Week 10 on the road against Denver, Week 11 on the road against New England. Then we have a home game against Washington football team. That's how it's broken down. But anywho, on to the game. Still a game, not a great game from the offense. We were given, I think, really, the defense played a great game. Defense played a big-time performance, man. They came up and made plays all day long. You got to give credit where credit is due. Again, the defense for 3 straight games has been tremendous. The offense has got to be better, and I think the running game has got to be better. This team isn't going to really get to where they think they can possibly get to, if the running game just doesn't do anything, And unfortunately, this is, next week ain't going to be easy. They got the Baltimore Ravens, but, win's a win, and this team is from 1-3 to 4-3. It's been a great ride since. But let's look at some of the games throughout the league. Johnny Keaton, struggled a little bit. He got sacked 6 times against the Cleveland Browns. They lose. The 49ers, they turned the ball over 5 times against the Steelers, and the Steelers still lost. And the Cowboys continue to struggle. They lose 5 in a row. And the Bills still only have 2 losses. The Bengals are now 5-2. Joe Burrow is playing like he wants the MVP. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Doesn't matter because Russell Wilson went 12 of 29. And they are gonna end up winning that, and the Ravens are gonna move to 4-3, and they are gonna be set up for a date against us in their building next week on Sunday on CBS. If we want to do immersion, but sorry, but you guys see the team that the Ravens have, and this is really a very talented team. They don't have any injuries. You know, this is a very talented Ravens team. Not the greatest offensive line that Lamar Jackson's had, but Lamar Jackson is playing like he wants to go back to the Pro Bowl. He's only made one Pro Bowl in this series. You know, which again, I think one thing that needs to change is also the whole reserve things. Like if a guy can't play in the Pro Bowl, they should, guys should fill in, and the people who fill in should get a Pro Bowl. Should have a Pro Bowl selection added onto their resume. But you gotta see, this is a very talented team, very talented defense. They have a young kid named Matt Ford. He was a rookie. He's a superstar. Corner. You know, this is a tough team. This is a tough football team. You know, Earl Thomas is still here. Chuck Clark is still here with Geno Stone. This is not an easy group to go against. You know, this is a team that's very talented. You know, I'm very shocked that they went on that 3-game losing streak. You know, because this could be a game against a 5-2, 6-1, 7-0 football team. But this is gonna be a tough game regardless. You know, and I'll say it again: the battle up front on both sides of the ball, in my opinion, is gonna be the big discussion and the biggest key in this football game. We'll see what happens when this Jets team travels to Baltimore. Hope you guys liked the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day. Peace.